Hey everyone on YouTube. And hello to everyone on Facebook, and hello to everyone on YouTube and Instagram. We'll see you in a few. Today is a rough day for me. It is 2 years since the second worst day of my life. My dad passed away 2 years ago, about almost exactly 2 years ago, and it was it is rough. It's he was he was probably one of the most important people in my life. He might have been the most important person in my life, and to watch the dementia take him away, a little bit at a time, is really hard. When someone passes away very quickly, it's uh, it's not easy by any stretch, but it's considerably different. Uh, uh, Before my dad passed, I was going out to Colorado. I was doing uh, like 2 weeks at the house, 3 weeks in Colorado, 2 weeks at the house, 2 weeks in Colorado. I just kept flying back and forth to Colorado. I was trying to maximize my time with my dad because I knew that it wasn't there wasn't going to be a lot of time left, and it was incredibly hard. And seeing him in a home, which was not hospice, it was a home, and the insurance wouldn't cover a nurse, so he could go back to his house. And fighting that battle while you're trying to do all that stuff, it's just not enjoyable. And I was fortunate enough. I had my brother, my stepmom, and there were people that were there that were huge parts of my dad's life, and we were literally all there within arm's length when he took his last breath, and being there when he passed was very, very important for me. But it was um, I can't hear very well. Sorry. I'll just double check. Yeah, everything's working. It could be on your end, Trey. Sorry, man. Good to see you. You're not on a jet ski. That's weird. Um, so yeah, watching um, watching my dad sort of deteriorate over several months was um, it's it rips your heart out, you know. Oh, a lot of background noise. Oh, hang on 1 second. Is that better? Turn off the pool pump. Yes, I can turn off the pool pump from my phone. Hopefully, that's a little bit better. So, flying back and forth between Colorado and Ohio, and doing all that for months. I mean, that was um, probably 3 months. It was back and forth and back and forth. And the travel problems that I had going back and forth just added to it. But it was very difficult. That's kind of selfish. I shouldn't say anything. That's kind of a small thing compared to everything else that happened. And cool, thanks, Trey. Yeah, so um, watching that dementia take my dad, and it was interesting because my dad was brilliant, and then it took little pieces of his brain. It was little pieces of memory and little pieces of things he knew how to do, but then couldn't do. And um, watching that take place literally in front of your face as it's happening is so difficult, and you try and figure out how to process it and how to deal with it. because you don't, this is your first time doing this, you don't normally do this, and you don't want it to happen, but you cannot stop it. It's like an avalanche. You don't want that avalanche to happen and completely cover that town or wipe out that town, but the avalanche is coming down the hill. You can't stop it. You can, use your body and maybe hold it for 0 seconds, but you can't stop it. And it's painful to watch that, take these little bits. It's like it's like carrying it, the animals come by and take little bits of the dead animal. And, all of a sudden you just have like bones laying there. And that's what it was like watching. And, getting texts as my dad is, just, I'm thinking back to all of this stuff that was happening, like all of this compounded in like 6 weeks. And just to have, everything else plus the death of my dad, it was a huge, huge blow to me. It really hurts. It hurts to this day. I think about him every day. And the fun part is every time I'm, every day there's something that pops into my head like, oh, my dad told me about that, or my dad showed me how to do that, or I remember my dad talking about this. And so, and it can be simple stuff like at the grocery store, or, a post on social media. Someone yesterday or the day before, someone posted something about English leather. And I was like, yeah, my dad used to, my Grammy Liesel owned English leather, and she used to send the half-filled bottles to my dad for Christmas. And my dad wore English leather. He's like, it's free, why not? He wore this crap all the time. I didn't know that it was garbage back then. I knew my Grammy Liesel, and I knew that's what my dad wore. And then I had another friend talking about how they were having friends over their house, and he's an awesome bartender, and he loves to make Tom Collins. And immediately, the first thing that popped into my head was my dad used to love whiskey sours. That was his big thing. So when I started bartending, I learned the first drink I ever learned how to make was a whiskey sour. So my mom liked them too. She liked those as well, but it pops into my head, and it's stuff like that. When I'm driving, when I'm working on vehicles, when I'm doing other stuff, there's always stuff that pops into my head. My dad's work ethic was unbelievable. 100 hours a week, sure, no problem. He grew up in wartime Austria, and it was, you think you have it rough? Try like going in the middle of the night to a warehouse to steal chocolate to feed the other members of your family. Yeah, like 10 chocolate bars. Yeah, that's a huge endeavor. If you get caught, you're going to get killed. They don't care that you're 10, 11 years old. It's a big deal. So, having that work ethic instilled in me, I know my brother has it instilled in him too. That really helps, and it's helped me progress with my life and get where I'm at. I could not have done this without him instilling all that stuff in me. Again, my mom was super important in all that stuff too. She told me so many tricks and tips and everything else on how to do life. My dad did the same thing. So these influential people, you want influencers? Parents, mom and dad, biggest influencers you'll have in your life. So there you go. Those are the two you need. Everyone else is optional. And he was a huge influence, especially with work ethic and doing things correctly is probably another big one, because doing stuff half-assed, and I learned this very, very young, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. 7, 8 years old. There's absolutely no reason to do it half-assed. Do it the correct way. Do it nicely. Do it where you don't have to come back and do it 3 more times. And I learned that really early on with him. So that's a big one. There's so much other stuff. The humbleness that my dad displayed when, any kind of accolade or recognition or award or anything, my dad was extremely humble and very introverted and um, very grateful about all of that stuff. So again, that sort of got instilled in us. We get like a track and field trophy, and my dad's like, "Hey, that's great. Let's get back to homework." You know, okay. So you get a little bit of high five. You get like a high 3.5, and then it's right back to work. So um, that stuff was okay. Dementia's brutal. It's brutal. You remember this guy who was very physical, loved to ski, loved to hike, was literally hiked every day after he retired. Literally every single day. And I don't mean like hiked to the grocery store. I mean like hiked in mountains, like 10,000 foot. Went to the Dolomites. Those are what, 12,000 feet? And yeah, I didn't find mountains big enough here. So he went over to Europe, hiked the Dolomites. And so, yeah, seeing that physicality taken away and the mental part is brutal. And you know, you try and go along with it. It's so hard because when the mental stuff goes, that's when you can, you know, there's no way to touch that. You can help your dad. Like if you can't walk, you can put him in a wheelchair, or, hold him up, get him crutches, cane, whatever. But when the mental stuff goes, it digs and it digs deep. And a couple weeks before that, huge loss in my life, and then my dad, and then everything else. So it all like compounded in like it was like 5 weeks of just straight hell for me. And I got through it. I managed. I I did have some good friends that I could confide in that sort of backed me up. But for the most part, I basically did it by myself, and I'm probably jacked up from it. I probably have huge mental scars, but uh, that's okay. I think we all do. I'm really glad that I knew my dad the way that I did. I was a shithead teenager, absolutely. I mean, dumb as a stump, and my dad put up with all of that. Like can't put a price on that stuff. So I'm just reflecting on all that and what the last 2 years have done, and hopefully I'm not. Hopefully I'm not going to be like. I don't want to forget him. That's the big thing, right? I don't want to forget my dad. I don't want to think that that part of my life is gone and I just have to truck forward. I don't want to forget him. That's the biggest thing. So I'm glad that I keep recognizing these little parts of my life where he shows up. I think that's a good thing, and that means that I've grieved properly. I have the right memories installed in my mental hard drive, and that I'm actually going to be okay. I need to keep that positive side on it, and keep remembering that, you know, when when the end came, I was there as much as humanly possible. I think that's a huge thing. I didn't hesitate. I literally I took the next flight. Rented the next car, drove the 3 hours, and I just kept doing that. So I think I did okay. I think I did it the right way considering where my life was at. I think I got everything in perspective and up to snuff. I did it enough for his standards, for him to be okay with it. And I'm obviously never know, but I think I did okay. And I think I'm doing okay. That's the other part. There's the after as well. You know, you can go in a big downward spiral, especially with everything else that happened. It would have been very easy for me to keep just spiraling out of control and keep going down and keep going down. It gets worse and worse and worse. And I didn't want that. I definitely didn't want that. I know my dad would have been pissed if I did anything like that. So that's why I did my best to stay positive, keep going forward, look for that happiness, maintain whatever happiness I had, and try and build on that. Take care of myself, take care of my life, enjoy my friends, enjoy my life, and make the most of it. And work hard, don't screw off too much. And I guess I screw off a lot, but I definitely screw off a lot more than my dad ever did. That is for damn sure. I think I'm doing okay, and I think he would approve. I'm not 100% sure, and I'll never know. But I do think he'd be okay with where I'm at now and what I'm doing. So I'm very grateful for that. I really miss him. I used to talk to him every week and get an hour, maybe two in, and I don't have that in my life anymore. And some of that regularity is gone, and that consistency is gone, and there's no way to really make up for it, right? I don't have like a second dad. Hey, figured you'd take his place for a couple of weeks. I don't get that. So anyway, 2 years. I think I'm okay. I think I'm in an okay place. It definitely could have been a lot worse. And the other thing I wanted to do today was to thank all of you and everyone on YouTube and everyone on Instagram. You guys allowing me to do this, to do these live streams, and to open up and give you the real reality. I don't know how else to explain it. You guys were my therapist, and it worked very well. I think or I should say, it's working well, and I like it and I appreciate it. The advice I've gotten from a bunch of you has been awesome. The ones that have walked away, you're lost, and that's a very easy way for me to put it. Like I said, I haven't blocked anyone. I haven't deleted anyone. You guys have done all of that on your own if you wanted to. That's your call. So I've remained positive about all of this, and a lot of that is because of you guys and girls and everyone else, and docs and videos and all of that stuff that social media is gracious enough to send. So once again, thank you everyone for your help. Thank you for listening, and just wanted to let you know I miss my dad a lot, and I honestly hope that I miss him for the rest of my life. It's one of those bad feelings, but it's a good feeling, I don't want to miss him, but I'm glad that I do miss him. I guess that's a better way to put it. Much better than my hair right now. So thanks everyone for watching today. I promise we'll do more fun, more guitar stuff, more car stuff, more all of that stuff. We'll do more upbeat things soon. I just wanted to make sure that the remembrance got out there and you guys got the honest 100% from the horse's mouth. So again, thanks everyone. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek, give them a kiss on the tip of their nose, hold their hand, give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. Hey, Denise, good timing. All right, I'll talk to you folks later this week. Thanks.